Ever wondered how your day-to-day activities could possibly contribute to the planet's warming? It's a question that looms over us, yet often gets swept under the carpet. The reality is, every choice we make, every action we take, impacts our world in ways we might not even realize. From the car we drive to the food we consume, our individual choices can contribute to a larger global issue: climate change. Let's dive deep into the history to understand the roots of this global crisis. The Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrial growth, marked the beginning of a significant increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. Emerging in the late 18th century, the Industrial Revolution was a turning point in human history. It was a time of great change, a time when humans began to harness the power of machines. Steam engines roared into life, factories sprouted across landscapes, and new forms of transportation, trains and steamships, revolutionized travel. Innovation was the watchword of the age, and the world was becoming a smaller, more connected place. But as these machines chugged and whirred, they belched out something else: carbon dioxide. This gas, a byproduct of burning fossil fuels like coal and oil, began to accumulate in the Earth's atmosphere. At first, the quantities were small, but as the revolution spread, more and more industries joined the fray, and the amount of carbon dioxide in the air started to increase exponentially. You see, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. That means it traps heat from the sun in our atmosphere, creating a kind of thermal blanket around the Earth. In small amounts, this is a good thing. It keeps our planet warm enough to support life. But as the levels of carbon dioxide rose, this blanket became too thick. The Earth started to warm up, just a little bit at first, but then more and more. And so the climate began to change. Seasons became less predictable. Some places got warmer, others colder. Weather patterns began to shift, slowly at first, but with increasing speed and intensity. And all this was just the beginning. The Earth's climate is a complex system, and even small changes can have far-reaching effects. Why is this important? Because we are part of this system. Our societies, our economies, our very lives are intertwined with the climate. When it changes, we feel the effects. And the changes that began with the Industrial Revolution are still with us today, shaping our world in ways we're only just beginning to understand. The accelerated industrial activities began to leave an indelible mark on our planet. The 20th century saw the rise of oil and gas, further fueling the climate change engine. This period, often referred to as the Petroleum Age, marked a pivotal shift in human history. The booming oil and gas industry not only transformed economies worldwide but also significantly reshaped our planet's environment. The discovery and extraction of these fossil fuels spurred industrial growth and technological advancement. However, it also led to an exponential increase in carbon emissions. These emissions, primarily in the form of carbon dioxide and methane, are the key drivers of global warming, the primary cause of climate change. As we mined and burned more oil and gas, we released more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, trapping more heat and warming the planet. This process, known as the greenhouse effect, is a natural phenomenon, but human activities have intensified it to alarming proportions. The correlation between increased fossil fuel consumption and global warming is undeniable. As our dependence on oil and gas grew, so did the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. From pre-industrial levels of around 280 parts per million, we've seen this number soar to over 400 parts per million today. That's a rise of over 40% in just over a century. Methane, while less prevalent than carbon dioxide, is another potent greenhouse gas released during oil and gas production. It's over 25 times more effective than carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere over a 100-year period. The consequences of this fossil fuel-driven warming are far-reaching and devastating. From melting ice caps to rising sea levels, from extreme weather events to loss of biodiversity, we're witnessing the impacts of our actions on a global scale. The age of oil and gas amplified the crisis, pushing the Earth's climate to unprecedented levels. As we move forward, it's crucial to remember the lessons from this era and strive to create a more sustainable and balanced relationship with our planet. The rise in carbon emissions has led to a significant increase in global temperatures and sea levels. Indeed, the world is getting warmer. Average global temperatures have risen by about 1.2 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century. While this number may seem small, its impact is anything but. This increase in temperature is melting glaciers and ice caps at an alarming rate. In turn, this meltwater is causing sea levels to rise, threatening coastal communities around the world. The Arctic, for example, is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet. This swift increase in temperature is causing the polar ice caps to melt at an unprecedented rate. As the ice melts, it adds more water to our oceans, causing sea levels to rise. This is not just a problem for the polar bears but for anyone living along a coastline. And it's not just the polar regions that are affected. Warmer temperatures are causing glaciers in mountain regions to disappear too. These glaciers are a vital source of fresh water for many communities. As they melt away, the future of these water supplies is in jeopardy. These rising temperatures are also wreaking havoc on wildlife and their habitats. Coral reefs, for example, are highly sensitive to changes in water temperature. As the oceans warm, corals bleach and die, leading to the loss of these vibrant ecosystems. Similarly, many species of birds are struggling to adapt to changing weather patterns and shifting habitats caused by global warming. The effects of global warming are far-reaching and complex, touching every corner of our planet. From the melting ice caps of the Arctic to the bleaching coral reefs in the tropics, no ecosystem is immune. As habitats change and disappear, the wildlife that depends on them faces an uncertain future. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Scientists predict that if we continue on our current path, global temperatures could rise by up to 4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, leading to even more devastating effects. These rising temperatures and sea levels pose a serious threat to all life on Earth. Climate change isn't just about warmer weather, it's also about more extreme weather events. When we talk about climate change, we often focus on the gradual rise in temperatures. But it's also crucial to recognize the increase in severe weather phenomena that are becoming all too common. Scientists have found a strong correlation between our warming planet and the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. Let's take a closer look at some of these events. Firstly, hurricanes. These are large swirling storms that form over warm ocean waters. As our planet warms and the ocean temperatures rise, hurricanes are becoming stronger and more destructive. The warm waters fuel the storms, leading to hurricanes that are more intense and that last longer, causing catastrophic damage in their wake. Now let's shift our focus to droughts. Droughts occur when a long period of abnormally dry weather leads to a severe water shortage. As global temperatures rise, evaporation rates increase, and rainfall patterns change, leading to longer and more severe droughts. These droughts have a devastating impact on agriculture, water supply, and wildlife, leading to food and water shortages and an increase in wildfires. Finally, heat waves. A heat wave is a prolonged period of excessively hot weather, which may be accompanied by high humidity. As global temperatures rise, heat waves are becoming more frequent, more intense, and longer lasting. These extreme temperatures can lead to heat-related illnesses and deaths, and they can also exacerbate drought conditions and increase the risk of wildfires. As our planet continues to warm, these extreme weather events are expected to become even more frequent and intense. This isn't just a prediction, it's a reality that we are already experiencing. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events is a stark reminder of the urgent need to address climate change. We cannot afford to ignore these warning signs. Our planet's health, and ultimately our own, depends on our collective action against climate change. From the Industrial Revolution to our current age, human activities have significantly contributed to climate change. We've journeyed through the beginnings of climate change, understanding that it's not a recent phenomenon, but one that has been significantly accelerated due to human intervention. The advent of the Industrial Revolution marked a turning point, with the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas, releasing vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. We've delved into the age of oil and gas, acknowledging the unprecedented levels of greenhouse gases that have been pumped into our atmosphere, leading to a dramatic increase in Earth's temperature, a phenomenon we now refer to as global warming. We've seen the tangible impact of these rising temperatures not just in the mercury in our thermometers, but in the swelling of our oceans. Sea levels have been ascending at an alarming rate, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems across the globe. And we've weathered the storm of extreme weather events, which have become all too frequent and severe, from scorching heat waves to catastrophic hurricanes, all of which are direct consequences of our warming planet. Each of these aspects paints a stark picture of the state of our world, a world that's changing, and not for the better. The science is clear. Climate change is real, it's happening now, and it's up to us to do something about it.